Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I am the founder of the Marriage Foundation. The topic is my husband says I don't appreciate him. That's hard to hear that, isn't it? And it probably came up in a discussion that wasn't all that friendly. And it made you feel like crap, I know. And now I'm going to ask you to step back and ask yourself, how does he feel that he was so bold that he would say something like that, to point out to you that basically what he's saying is, you're not expressing, I'm putting it in a different way. He's saying, you're not expressing appreciation for me. And he probably said some things to back it up that may or may not be that big a deal, but it doesn't matter. Think about appreciation. By the way, hopefully you're a subscriber, because we approach marriage in such a different way. It's very positive. And you'll find that this topic too, I'm going to turn it into a positive so you can really do something about it. So let's talk about what appreciation is. You see, when we love somebody, we don't have to think about how to show that love. We don't. And when I'm talking about we love somebody, I'm not talking about the got used to him, yeah, sure, I love him kind of love. And that's not what he's talking about either. He's talking about, you used to do things for me. You used to say thank you. You used to be kind. You used to smile at me. You used to touch me. You used to make love to me like it was, every time was monumental. And now you take me for granted, which is the opposite of appreciation. Now, interestingly, and by the way, I've done a big study on this, deeper than that. I've created teachings, because I used to be a divorce mediator, so for me everything is sort of analytical. It's got to be methodical. And I asked the question, well, I didn't actually ask the question. I noticed that when I was a divorce mediator, there was one common thread in every single divorce. You know what that was? The common thread was that they were over familiar with each other. They were rude to each other. They weren't polite. They weren't nice to each other. They took each other for granted. They were together so long, they got to know each other so well, and instead of using what they knew about each other to make each other feel happy and feel loved, they criticized each other instead of complimented each other. They complained to each other about each other instead of praised. They condemned. They went so far as to condemn each other. This overfamiliarity in my books I list as the #1 killer of marriage, because you get used to each other, and what's really happening is the very reason you got married for, to be happy and to experience love, has been pushed aside, as if you're soulmates and you turn into cellmates, is what it boils down to. You're living in this tiny space called your marriage, and your marriage should be this vast space of love. That's what it's supposed to be. But you and he have not been doing what is necessary to create that space. Look, you have free will. We weren't given free will so we could sit around and decide between these color curtains and that color curtains. We were given free will and volition, which is being able to put our free will into action in order to improve the world around us and ourselves and be of service to one another, especially the one we married. And your husband is saying, you're not doing any of that for me. And it's put aside the fact that it hurt you. Put aside the fact that your mind is telling you, well, that may not be completely true. That's just defensiveness. And instead, and this is my heartfelt suggestion to you, take it seriously. Take it as a 2x4 across your head that you better get on the ball or your marriage is going to end. I've seen it. But you know what else I've seen? When people come to us and they take our courses, whether it's the husband or the wife or both, they're able to learn all about marriage that is so necessary to learn, and also to learn about mastering their mind. That may sound like, what does that have to do with marriage? Everything. Everything. Because true joy is within us all. Because we're souls. Our very nature is joy and love. But we are not aware of it because we're so controlled by our habits, our instincts, our impulses. So part of really marriage help has to include learning how to master your mind. And so that's what we teach. That's what we teach. Don't take this the wrong way that he said that. Take it as, okay, what can I do to change? Don't take it as, he's a jerk, how dare he? Do not go there. You will lose your marriage eventually. Maybe not next week, but it's coming. And that's what I want you to know. I want you to know that the trend of your marriage is wrong. The level of happiness in your marriage is off. And more important, you can do something about it. So do something about it. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim of your mind telling you it's his fault. Take it on. Don't take it as your fault. Just take it as there is something missing and I can change it. It's very different. Now, for those of you who have been following us, we have many subscribers, close to 35,000, I think. And many people have said, I want to be a TMF marriage counselor, because we have people watching these videos who already are marriage counselors, and they know they're not getting the results using traditional methods, and they like what we're doing here. And then we have people like clergy or maybe lay members who work within their church or synagogue or mosque who help people who are struggling with their marriages. And then there's coaches. And then there's people who really just want to start helping people with their marriages. We got an email today from someone who said, I took your program, it changed my marriage, it changed my life, and I want to be a TMF counselor too. I want to help other people. So if you have that interest, I'm working on putting together the training program for TMF counselors now. I'd love for you to join us. We're going to have a big family of TMF counselors, and we're going to change the world. So I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Like the video, be a subscriber. God bless you, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Take care.